Please be advised that Little Miss Recap contains adult language. Little Miss Recap pro tip. You're having your side piece over to bang in your wedding bed.
Don't fall asleep.
Don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. Do coke before. Whatever you have to do to stay awake. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Little Miss Recap, the podcast where we read our friends' journals in the woods and cry.
Because it always goes super well when you read someone's journal that you're not supposed to read.
Oh, my God. Guys, my name's Amye Archer. I'm here with you with my lovely co-host, the sauce to my meatball, Amanda Lipnack-Radell. Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, friends. How are we today? Super excited to talk about this. This was a good episode to come back and revisit.
This was a really good episode. I have to say that upon rewatch, I had forgotten that Jackie read the journal in the woods.
No, I remember that. I just couldn't remember when it happened.
Mm-hmm. I forgot all about it. I feel like that's a big piece of information that I was missing.
Yeah. Because she
Hold
knew.
on, I have to open my door here. Okay, because I get an echo if it's not. I have a glass door, like it has a glass insert. And I get a bad echo if I don't have it open.
Understand. And I have a cat who's going to settle on my shoulder in a minute. You can sit, buddy. No, okay. You don't know what you want. Okay, bye.
Okay, so unlike previous episodes where we were like, do we have notes? Do we have notes, Amanda?
We have notes. We have the notes. We have them right here in front of me on my screen. Okay, we are good to go.
Perfect.
And it's funny because as I was doing them, I forgot that we're just doing this like more casual rewatch where we're not going bit by bit. Yeah, and I started doing my notes like I do it for other stuff. I'm like, wait, no, you don't have to go this level of detail.
No. It's lovely. The more I watch this show, the more I appreciate it. The more I love it. Can't wait for it to come back now that the writer's strike has settled.
I know. Now we just need the actor's strike to settle.
I know. Is that a separate thing? I thought they joined the writers.
They were in solidarity with the writers, but they are two different unions. And I saw something last week that the SAG, which is the Screen Actors Guild, that their negotiations had fallen apart. So.
Oh God. Okay.
But the thing is, we're glad that the writers are back. A, I'm glad they're getting what they deserve, and B, they have a lot of typing to do before we can have actors. So it's better that they settle before the actors.
Although I feel like Taylor Sheridan, the dude who writes Yellowstone in 1883 and 1923, probably had 87 scripts ready to go.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of these guys
did.
Here's the reality. Like, let's say you're a striking writer. It's not like you're not sitting at home cooking up ideas and writing stuff.
Yeah.
You're just not doing it on a set in a writer's room and all that. So
correct. Yes.
If you're someone who's that level of screenwriter, you know this. You're a writer. You can't stop writing.
No. Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. There's worse habits to have than writing.
Yes. Speaking of, you're watching Dope Sick.
I am watching Dope Sick. So we had watched Painkiller not long after it came out. So maybe a month ago or so. And then I wanted to watch Dope Sick. And Todd was like, I need a break from the opioid crisis because this is too much. So we started Dope Sick last night. And it's very different from Painkiller. They're both very good, but just in different ways. I didn't realize that Michael Keaton I thought he was Richard Sackler. I just didn't know. Like, I knew Michael Keaton was in it. Didn't know what role he would play. Yeah. And then to realize that he was the doctor. And my heart just breaks for this character because he's such a good doctor.
He is. He really is.
And he's what this town needs. And he got suckered in by the marketing.
I mean, Michael Keaton he can do no wrong in my opinion.
He's phenomenal.
I fell in love with him in Mr. Mom.
Oh, of course.
And have never stopped.
Yeah,
he's Batman. Wonderful. I mean, I just love him to death.
He is a phenomenal actor and he's knocking it out of the park. I'm loving Mare Whittingham is one of my favorite actors in the world. And I love her in this because no one is going to play like a bedraggled, live in a rough, hard minor wife life the way Mare Whittingham can.
Yes.
You know who she's married to?
Who?
Anthony Edwards.
Goose? Oh,
Or
okay.
Mark Green, because they were on
Okay.
ER together. That's where they
Yes,
met.
yes, yes, they were.
And
Okay,
then
alright.
then they weren't together for years, and I think their respective marriages ended, not because of them, like,
Yeah, yeah.
life just happened, they both got divorced, and then they
Oh,
got
that's
married.
kinda
They got married
nice.
during COVID, yeah.
Oh.
I love them.
I'm watching and I can't stop won't stop talking about it. 1883, we just finished. It was amazing. I love westerns. I just do. I love
Mm.
westerns. I know it's weird. I just do.
It doesn't go with the rest of you.
It doesn't go with the rest of me, but there's something about them. I don't know. And I love Taylor Sheridan's work because I feel like he really puts the indigenous story front and center where it
Which
should
is
be.
fantastic, yeah.
And in 1883, there wasn't a ton of that, but now I'm in 1923, the next series, and
Okay.
we have already started with the indigenous schools where the Catholic Church
Okay.
went in and took over these indigenous schools and are, trying to anglicize, quote unquote,
Right.
the indigenous people. And it's real brutal. And
And this is the one
I
with
like,
Harrison Ford, right?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
And Helen Mirren,
Yeah.
his wife, which
Oh,
perfect, perfect, perfect.
good God.
And I'm loving it, guys. I'm loving it. And you do not have to watch Yellowstone to know.
Okay,
Like it has a little extra for us because we know, oh, this character grows up to be this person,
sure.
but it does not matter for the
Okay,
show. 1883 more so.
okay,
But
because it's really
1923, you don't have to know. It would help, but you don't have to.
okay,
So there we go.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
my ringing endorsement for these Westerns.
yeah. Our next after Dope Sick is gonna be The Fall of the House of Usher.
Oh, me too. First of all,
First of all.
I never realized how much I said that. First of all,
First of all.
usually I say in context with Robin Brown, but first
Right.
of all, um, I love that writer. What's his name? Mike.
Like,
He did all the
Midnight Mass and
yeah.
yeah.
Midnight Mass remains to this day probably one of my favorite shows of all time.
It was so freaking good, and it was
It
funny, last
was
night we were talking about
beautiful.
it. Let me see. Mike Flanagan is his
Mike
name.
Flanagan.
Last night we were talking about it, and I said to Todd, I'm like, "When Dope Sick is done, we're doing Fall of the House of Usher." And then we were talking about how good, and I'm like, "It's the guy who did Midnight Mass." He was like, "Oh, okay,
Mhm.
cool."
Mhm.
And he's like, "Are we ever gonna get a second season of that?" And I was
Mm-mm.
like, "Do you
Mm-mm.
do you remember how that ended?" I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody, but
Right,
like,
right. No.
"Do you remember?" He's like, "Oh, right. Yeah,
It's
we
not
won't have a
meant
second
there's
season of
not
that."
meant to be a second season,
No,
no.
no, we will not be having a second season of Midnight Mass, but
But
it was
I
so good.
saw somebody when I was going off about how great Midnight Mass is, somebody in the comments was like, "Oh, too much dialogue," but I was riveted
Oh,
by
I
the
was
dialogue.
too.
I
I
thought the
was
dialogue
too.
was fucking amazing. Mike
And trying to
Flanagan is a
figure out who
great
everybody
dialogue writer.
was,
Yep.
and there was, Matt
The priest
Sarris,
was fantastic.
the priest was amazing,
Mhm.
the evil nun girl was amazing,
Amazing.
and then
All of
Matt
it was good.
Saracen from Friday Night Lights.
Yes, yes, which I never watched, but I know it's one of those shows that you kinda just know because it seeps into the membrane,
Yes.
but, yeah, never watched it.
The level at which you would
Connie
love
Britton's in it, right?
Yes, Tammy Taylor. The level at
Mhm.
which you would love Tammy Taylor,
Mm.
you wouldn't even know what to do with yourself.
Well, we've talked about for Patreon doing episodes of shows,
Yes,
like,
favorite
just
episodes of
y
shows,
yeah,
and I will pull out some of Friday
maybe
Night
that's
Lights.
one of them, and then you
Yeah.
can give me the context and yeah,
I
yeah.
know exactly the episode, and it's a big one that features Matt Saracen, who was the guy who was in Midnight
Okay.
Mass.
Alright, cool. Alright, girl, let's jump in. We are doing Yellowjackets season 1 episode nope,
Okay.
season 1, episode 7.
Correct.
Okay, No Compass.
No Compass.
Yes. And
Correct.
just a reminder, this is a rewatch.
Yep.
We've seen to the end of season 2. We know what happens. We can't unknow that, so it's
Yep.
gonna color what we talk about. And
And there's a couple of Easter eggs in here that
yeah,
are big for what actually happens. Not
yeah.
this season and next.
So if you have not watched season 2, I suggest maybe not listening to
Stop
us right away.
now.
Yeah.
Go watch season 2. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Watch episode 6 at like 17 times the speed. Just get through it and go about it. Yeah.
Yep, yep. All right,
Okay, so
Amanda's gonna be our fearless leader here. Go ahead.
we're gonna do wilderness, then we'll do present day.
Okay.
And this is a big one in the will. Actually, this is a big one in both sides. A lot of stuff happens in this.
Yeah, yeah.
But we start where everyone's telling Ty had said in our last episode that she wants to go walking and try to find their way out of here.
Yep.
And everyone's telling Ty that this is a bad idea, but she's convinced she has to go. It's getting colder, and it's going to get colder, and she says, "Not like an extra jacket colder, dying, falling asleep cold."
Just like Jackie did.
Just like Jackie did.
Mhm, mhm.
They ask Lottie what to do. She doesn't know. They fight about what they need to do, who can go. Natalie says she can't take the gun. Cool.
Well, what was interesting there is, Lottie has opinions about everything,
Except this.
but when they need one, she's
Yeah,
like, "Meh, don't know,
got
don't
nothing.
know." Mm-mm.
But then she, like, we find out in a little bit later, she, had dreams about
Mhm,
this.
mhm. Well, she confides it to Van, though. She
Yeah,
doesn't, yeah.
yeah, like, I don't know what's up with Lottie. She's not
Mm-mm.
doing well. This is where Ty cuts off all of her hair,
Yes. Yeah.
which makes me sad. I thought she was so pretty with the longer hair.
Mhm,
I did not like
mhm.
the super short hair on her.
Yeah,
Van's thinking it's all hot, which I love.
of course.
I love them. I love
I
them so
love
much.
Van so much.
I love it. She's my favorite character. Like, Natalie's yours,
Nat's
Van is
my
mine.
girl. Nat's my girl, but I love Van.
Van's my girl.
Mhm,
And she goes into this beautiful monologue about how she went to New York City, she saw cats, and how she was
mhm.
like,
That
"Cats?
happened to me. That happened to me.
What happened to you?
I went to New
You
York
were
City.
trapped in the woods, and then you had to talk about being back in New York City?"
I had been to New York City quite a few times at this point, but we decided to take my mother to see a musical, and I had never seen a Broadway play.
Okay.
And I mean, this was like recently. This was like 10 years ago, not even.
Okay.
And my sister's like, she's gonna like Cats. I'm like, okay, maybe Cats will be fine. Cats is terrible.
Cats is awful.
Cats is awful. If you have somebody who wants to take you to New York to show you Cats, just don't go.
Send them on your own and go around the corner and just drink at the bar. It'll be time better spent. The problem with
100%.
Cats is it's just so ubiquitous in our cultural psyche,
Yeah.
and Memory is beautiful. I mean, it's a gorgeous song,
Yes,
and it's
yes, of
sad,
course it is.
and Magical Mr. Mistopheles is lovely, but the musical as a whole is terrible.
Cats is trash.
Cats is trash. Cats
Now
is
we did
trash.
go around the corner and we found this show, Drunk Shakespeare. It's not really a show, it's like an immersion experience.
Okay.
Drunk Shakespeare, which was probably the funniest and greatest thing I ever saw in my life.
Oh, wow,
So,
that would be
there we go.
fun. I would
Yep.
enjoy Drunk
They do
Shakespeare.
make they changed their plays up, but they did Macbeth, and they get drunk, and then they tell you the story about it. It's fantastic.
I love it. It's like drunk
Mhm.
history. I can
Mhm.
do
Yeah,
that big
yeah.
time. Okay. So
Okay.
we've got Nat and Travis being weird together. There's a lot of Nat and Travis in this. Nat begs
Yeah.
him not to go on the trek. He agrees, and they just keep making out. Basically, every time they get together, they're just making out. They cannot
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
them off each other.
No, I don't blame her.
I don't blame him either. I
Mm-mm,
mean, you're in the woods, you
whatever.
might be
Yeah,
dying.
yeah.
Bang away. They're packing for the trip. Lottie gives Van the talisman to stay safe,
Mhm,
and Lottie tells her about the dream with the red smoke and the river of blood.
mhm.
Dun dun dun. Misty tells Coach that she's leaving. And
She makes a big scene of it.
oh, a huge scene. "You'll
Mhm,
be okay without me, and I have to do this, and it'll
and
be okay."
everybody's just looking at them like,
Like, trying not to
what's
laugh, and he's
happening?"
he's trying to look sincere, but he can't because he's
Yeah,
like, "Oh god, this is
yeah,
so cringe and awkward." And she, like, slams herself into him, hugging him,
yeah.
and he's just like, "Eh,
Can we
heh,
say
heh."
that he's starting to look a little cute? He's getting those curls growing out on top.
He's not a bad-looking dude.
He's looking a little cute. We don't hate Coach, but in season 2, we just see how dramatically he's dropped the ball with these kids, and
He's useless out here.
totally
Now,
useless.
he did lose a leg, so he's he's, as they might say, handicapped. He's
Mhm.
not at full
See what
force.
you did there.
They did
But
there, but,
he could still lead,
he
you
could
know?
still lead, and he's
Yeah.
not. He is just
Mm.
pieced out and
Mhm.
refuses to eat people, and
Mhm.
it's not going well for him.
Mhm.
And, okay, so she slams herself into him. Ty and Shauna have a huge hug, and Shauna hugs Van. Like,
Mhm.
Shauna's the Ty Shauna hug is serious.
Yeah.
Like, these 2 have already been through some shit
Yeah.
with the
They have
abortions and
such a good friendship.
mhm. Jackie confronts Shauna about why she's being weird,
Mhm. Mhm.
and Shauna tells her that she's pregnant.
Mhm.
Shauna, I texted you this when I was rewatching. Shauna is wearing a t-shirt that has butterflies on it, and it says in French, "Lueur d'espoir," which means glimmer of hope.
Mhm.
Notice it's both French 'cause French
Yes.
keeps coming back. We gotta
Yep.
find out something about there's gotta be some weird
What is
tie
the
to
deal there?
French.
Mhm, mhm.
Lottie Possessed speaks French. She, hears it at the beehive, the blood
Well, I
beehive
mean,
in
they
the
are in the
future.
Canadian Rockies, so there could have been a Frenchman who died in that cabin,
I
like
mean,
a
there could have
French
been.
Canadian person.
There could have been.
Wandered too far from Montreal.
I was gonna say it's a long walk from Quebec, but okay, sure, we'll go with that. It's
Whatever.
possible.
Mhm.
Shauna tells her that the father of her child is Randy,
Yeah.
and we see their trek. Ty asks
Jackie
Van about
Jackie starts putting that together real
yeah,
quick.
she does because she's
Mhm.
like, "So, when did this happen? Tell me everything that happened." And she's like, "It
Mhm.
was this night." She's like, "Hmm,
Which okay, pro tip from Little Miss Recap.
yes,
If you're gonna lie, especially about something like the paternity of your baby, be vague. Be vague. You
Veg.
don't say it happened on this night at this time. You just say something like,
It happened after a party one
I
night."
don't wanna revisit it. It was in a drunken night. That's
Right.
all you say. That's all you say.
Yep.
Mhm,
Don't be like,
mhm.
"It was November 10th, and we were at this party, and then this,"
Never
because
commit to
Jackie's like,
facts. Never
"No,
commit to facts. No.
no, the key to a good lie is being really vague, but in a
Mm,
believable way."
mhm. Yeah, especially about the paternity of your child.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Especially about the paternity of your child. Hopefully, for most people, that's not something they ever need to lie about.
Right, they could just be
Hopefully.
honest, but who knows, you
Who
know?
knows?
Mhm.
Or question. Like, we were watching Lalu last night because
Oh, boy. I didn't see the latest, but I saw when
Joy
it's so
Nomi,
funny because she just came to mind for me as well. Because she's like, "It could be one of 3
3
people," and her
people,
sister's like, "What?"
and then she wants her prison boyfriend that she's never met to adopt the kid.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah.
This woman is cuckoo magoo. She is out to frickin' lunch, and it gets worse this episode. Oh,
Okay.
oh,
I'll have to watch.
she is a nutter. I love her.
Oh.
Anyway, so Jackie sees that her journal is out and realizes, "Oh shit, I have to hide this now." Sticks it up in the
Shauna
rafters.
sees it, you
That's what
mean.
I mean. Yeah, Shauna sees
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And we see the girls walking. We see the Red River.
Mhm,
Their
mhm,
compass is not working anymore. They think there
mhm.
might be iron in the river. I don't think there's iron in the river. I mean, there might be iron in the river, but the amount of iron that would have to be in that river for it to be that color,
Yeah, it would have to be
like you would smell it.
off the charts. Yeah.
Yeah, you would absolutely smell the
Mhm.
iron and all of that. So, and then at some point they stop for the night. They decide to keep watch. And then we come back. Jackie finds Shauna's journals, reads that Jeff's the father of the baby. And then we wake up. The end of this is Ty wakes up in the tree to find everyone fighting with wolves. And one of them is tearing the shit out of Van. Ty kills the wolf, beats the living daylights out of it.
Mhm.
And she thinks Van is dead.
Okay, so let's talk about a few of these scenes.
Yeah.
So the Jackie and Shauna thing, I thought Jackie was very sweet with her
Hmm.
when she told her that she was pregnant.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh my god, Shauna, what are you gonna do?" She
How
was very
And she was like, "Why have you been hiding this from me?" Not in an accusatory, like, "Why aren't you telling me everything?"
yeah.
But like, "Oh my god, I wanna support you through this." Holy shit, imagine being in the wilderness and being pregnant. And
Yeah.
again, the only GYN on call is Misty fucking Quigley.
Uh,
Yeah.
um, and Shauna, again, committing too much information, but when Jackie's reading that journal and she's sobbing, what is in the journal? Is it detailing the affair with Jeff? We're
I think
assuming,
so.
right?
Yeah, I think it's probably detailing every time they've had sex,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
been multiple times.
Another moment that caught my interest was when Shauna goes over to the window and there's a
Mhm.
little carving of a wolf
Mhm. Yep.
statue, and she picks it up and she looks at it and she, like, smiles and puts it back down, and then the next scene
Is
is
the
the
wolf
wolf.
attacking, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, there's so many little drops in this.
so many. At one point, she yells at Javi because he comes up and is going through her book bag,
Yeah,
and
'cause
she's
he
like, "Don't
wants to
go
find
through my
paper.
stuff." Yeah.
Yeah, because she doesn't
Um
want him to find the journal.
And why is Travis having so many sexual issues? Like, why are here's the thing. I tell you this all the time. As a writer, everything is a choice.
Right.
What is going to happen or why is Travis having sexual issues? Like, what is that about?
I don't know. I mean, if we just look at it not from a writing perspective and a storytelling perspective, just based on where they are.
Yeah.
He's been through so much trauma.
Mhm.
He really likes her.
Mhm.
He's really nervous about performance. He's really nervous about being compared to everyone else that she's banged ahead of time.
Mhm.
Um, so, I mean, that's enough to have there be performance issues, but he's also a 16, 17-year-old boy
Who
that,
should be able to overcome all of that.
right, the wind blowing in a certain
Yeah.
way can get them going. I'm
That's
not
why I don't
sure.
know, like, I feel like there's a bigger plan at play here, and I don't
Mhm.
know what that is.
And they do eventually have sex, right? Yeah.
Yes, they
Yes.
do
Oh, yeah,
eventually.
because there's that whole dreamy thing in season 2 with
Yes.
Lottie
Mhm.
coming in and out. So, yeah, they he does eventually finish the job. And Natalie's trying to be she's so lovely about it.
Yes,
She
of
doesn't give
course
him a
she
hard
is.
time.
No.
She's just like, "This is fine. Can I
But I
help
just
you?"
wonder, like, what they're trying to tell us about him.
Yeah.
Like, is it that he's more sensitive and insightful and thoughtful than we think? Is it, like, that he's not just your average 16 or 17-year-old boy? Is
Who's
like, I don't
banging.
know what it is that they're trying to tell us,
Yeah, what
but
does
there's a
this mean to
reason.
him? I think this
Right.
maybe it's the meaning, maybe it's the realization that he's in love with her and
Maybe.
he doesn't know what's going to happen for them.
Maybe.
I don't
They just
know.
spend an awful lot of time on it, and it makes me curious as to why.
There are multiple times when they hook up where he can't
Yeah,
close the deal, so to
yeah.
speak, and yeah.
So let's go down to the wandering X squad or whatever we wanna call them. Um,
The truckers.
yeah. So here's the thing, did you think Van was dead? And is it possible that she survives that?
I thought she was dead.
I thought she was dead too, like, half her face is chewed off.
Half her face is chewed off, and yeah, no, I really thought she was dead, and the pain, and we know what happens in the next episode.
Mhm.
We'll talk about that next time we record, but and we know she's not dead because we know she's
Right,
not dead.
right.
Notice through all this though, she's wearing the co-ed naked soccer t-shirt
She is.
that we see Pit Girl in.
Yes.
But we know Van's not
We
Pit
know
Girl.
she's not Pit Girl.
No, so that t-shirt has made the rounds. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure at some point it's like whoever's clothes you put on it,
True,
who cares? Who cares?
true. Yeah.
By Ty waking up in the tree, being completely dissociated
Mhm,
from what's happening. She's not eating dirt, but she's in the tree.
mhm.
But we see her, and in real time, we'll talk about present, she's also having a tree issue too.
Mhm.
She sees what's
She's having
happening.
a tree
Tree
issue.
issue. She's having some issues with trees.
Mhm, mhm.
But yeah, no, I really thought Van was dead, and just the pain in Ty's face when she sees her
Mm,
is just awful.
yeah.
These 2 young women are this is not just banging. These 2 women are really in love with each other. They are gaga for each other.
I agree, and I have to say, like, I really was with Ty on going on this expedition.
I th What else do you
What
do?
else do you do? Like, you can't just sit there.
No, and the only challenge is we know that they don't get found for 19, like, we know what we know. So we know they don't get found for 19 months, and so the likelihood of there being civilization 5 miles away
Mhm,
is low
mhm,
because someone would have seen the plane crash.
and we don't know how they're found. All we know is
Yeah.
someone and we heard it again, I think in this episode or last, someone makes reference to Natalie being the one that really helped
That
save them.
Natalie got us out of here, or, we wouldn't
Yeah.
be here if not for Natalie.
Yes, something like that.
So we don't know yet what's going to
Mhm,
happen and how they're
mhm.
gonna get out. I'm dying to know how they get out, but I know we won't know till the end.
No, no,
No,
we won't.
they can't give that away too soon.
Alright, any other thoughts on the wilderness? Is that all we have?
That's all that we have in the wilderness. I This becomes such a turning point for Jackie and Shauna's friendship
I know.
because, I mean, now Jackie knows, but Shauna doesn't know that Jackie knows until episode 9.
Right.
No, episode 10. Episode 10 is the
Mhm.
finale, is where she dies in the woods, or dies basically falling asleep,
But do
freezing to death.
you like, here's the thing, it's so funny to me when I watch this that I can remember being that age, and I can remember how big things felt.
Oh my god,
And, like,
everything is the biggest thing that's ever happened to
it's
you.
the biggest thing that ever happened, and I look back now, and I would be like, "This is not a big deal." Like, it's a
No.
high school boyfriend.
Right.
whatever, but, like, at the time, it was
It's
crushing to
it's
Jackie.
it's everything.
Mhm,
'Cause
mhm.
Jackie thought she was gonna go home and reunite with Jeff.
And to have your best friend, it's such a betrayal.
Right, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly, and to know your best friend is pregnant. It's not that just that they banged.
yeah.
She's pregnant. Like, it's almost like if she read it in a journal and Shauna were not pregnant, I wonder if she could kind of, like, separate like, she could pretend this didn't happen if she wanted
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
but she can't, 'cause this we're gonna have a baby,
yeah. There's gonna
and
be an actual living object. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
there's no hiding from this, and it's interesting because 'cause I'm thinking about because the next episode is the plane. The
Mhm,
following episode is the Doom Coming, which is my favorite episode of the whole series. We'll
mhm.
talk about that in detail when we get there. But time has really shifted from there because at Doom Coming, so 2 more episodes, Jackie or Shauna is showing.
Yeah,
She's got a big old bump going on, and she's
yeah,
not showing yet.
yeah.
So it's I found it so interesting both in this season and in the second to be able to use Shauna's pregnancy as a time-telling device
Mhm,
on how
mhm.
much time has
Yeah,
slipped by because we know it's not gonna be more than 40 weeks.
right. Unless it's Virgin River and Charmaine is pregnant, the end of season 1, it's season 5, she's still pregnant.
Oh, hmm. Is she birthing an elephant?
5 seasons, and they're
And she's
trying to tell us it only took place in 9 months.
I mean, this sounds like Little House on the Prairie timelines of pregnancy.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
When
it's
Laura was
funny.
pregnant with Rose, it was like a 3-year pregnancy. Mhm, mhm.
Poor Laura. Poor
Absolutely.
Laura. But, okay, yeah, so that's everything that happens in the wilderness.
Hey everyone, stay tuned. Little Miss Recap will be right back after these words. Take us to the present, girl.
So the present, we get, um oh, I messed up
Ooh.
my order here because I had in the middle of the present, I have more Nat and Travis making out. Okay, we already talked
Okay.
about that. So let
Alright,
me just
yeah.
let's just
We
bite.
exhausted those 2 crazy
Oh,
kids.
2 crazy kids who can't get it together. So
Mm-mm.
we start the first scene in the whole episode is Ty is in the tree, covered in dirt,
Mm,
eating
mm.
dirt. Her hands are bloody and her nails are a mess, and she has, like, a gash in her hand.
I have to tell you something. I had
Please?
somebody reach out to me because last time we were talking about this, I was knee deep in conjecture as I always am, and I either said she was probably a werewolf
Oh, yes,
or
we wondered if she was a
and somebody
werewolf,
was
yeah.
like, "Why do you think werewolves eat dirt? Like, where did you get that trope?" And I'm like, "I don't know now that you think about it. I don't know why I associated it with werewolves."
Yeah, you went hard on the werewolf thing.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think she's a werewolf. I mean, I'm just gonna go out on a limb. Don't think Ty is a werewolf.
So
She's,
not a werewolf, not a
she's not a
werewolf.
werewolf, but she's eating dirt in the tree. She gets a text from the girl. I mean, she's dressed beautifully. She's dressed
Mhm,
in normal
mhm.
Thai clothing.
And did you notice Sammy's window is right there?
Sammy's window is right there. So she's
Could you imagine seeing Mama Amanda in a tree eating dirt in the middle of the night?
I am just envisioning my mother doing that, and no, I cannot imagine that.
This poor kid, like, I know we should return Sammy, don't get
We
me
should.
wrong,
He's real weird, but
but is it any, like, wonder why he's like this?
no, his mother is in the tree outside his window looking like a werewolf eating dirt. This is not good. This is not
And
good
then
parenting.
she denies it the next day or doesn't
Right.
acknowledge it, so he would think she's gaslighting him.
Right.
Yes.
Oh my god, maybe the only reason Sammy needs to be returned is because his mother's been gaslighting him for years.
Maybe, maybe,
And then she hid the red paint under the bed and oh god. Oh,
maybe.
this poor kid. He hides in cupboards. He has the creepy
He's
doll.
creepy. He's
He needs to
creepy.
go. He needs to
Mm-mm,
be returned.
mm-mm.
So,
You know what it is? There's always to these creepy kids, and I'm looking
mhm.
at you, Haley Joel Osment from Sixth Sense. Whenever you have the creepy kid, it's like they know more than you, and that's
Yes.
you need to take them back to the store. The minute a kid has the upper hand in the
Do not let a
relationship.
kid have the upper hand. No, no.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
any situation, this is why Todd has always said he would never have had more than 2 children because at that point you have to play a zone defense.
Yes, yes,
You need to
yes,
keep it one-on-one to be
yes.
able to handle this. More than that, and it's too much. I'll be always, "You need a zone defense." I'm like, "Okay, football boy." So, she gets a text from the girls, and that's kinda what brings her
Mhm.
out of this.
Snaps her out of it.
Yeah, about, they're getting together to deal with this blackmailer
I
dude.
had to chuckle because she got a text that took her out of it, and I'm like, "Clearly, you're not signed up for any political, lists
Right.
because you would've gotten a text 20 minutes ago."
I
Every
and
5
12 of them.
minutes.
Every
Yes,
5
yes.
freaking minutes. Every one of these, I'm like, "Stop, stop,
She'd
I'm
never have
voting."
time to be in the tree because the
No,
text would snap her right out of it.
exactly. She can't
Mhm.
be in her
Mm,
catatonic state. She'd be
mm-mm,
constantly snapped right out. But we see her go inside and, like, wash her hands, and you could see she's really upset. And
mhm,
Nat's
mhm.
texting her like, "Where the fuck are you? Get
Yeah,
on
come
it."
on, let's go.
Her hand is all did she bite her hand?
I think she did.
I think she did
I think
too.
she did, yeah, which werewolf, werewolf.
Or vampire.
Or
Could be
vampire.
vampire.
She could be a vampire.
What if she's a werewolf vampire?
She could be a
Can you
werewolf
be
vampire.
both?
Sure, why not?
I
If
mean,
your
they don't
dad was a werewolf and your mom was a vampire,
you're a baby werewolf vampire.
yes,
There you go. Okay,
yes.
cool. So she's a werewolf vampire.
You're a baby werepire.
My God, is there do any of our backdoor friends have any artistic ability? I do not, but if one of you could draw a werewolf vampire baby,
Yeah, yeah, we
that
need to see
that would be
that.
a merch alert.
We need to see
Vampire werewolf baby. We could put that right on a t-shirt. No one will look at that funny. So, eventually Ty gets her shit together. They get together, they put the tracker in the bills. They have a
Mhm,
bag.
mhm.
Shauna's all like, "The I thought $50,000 would look like more." "Me too, Shauna. Me
Me
too.
too, me
I've
too.
never seen
Mhm,
$50,000 in cash.
mm-mm.
I thought it would be more than just a brick
Have
of
I ever seen
100s."
$50,000 in cash? I actually have. I
Okay,
have
you're gonna have to
actually
say more
seen
about that.
$50,000 in cash. I had to move money from one loan to another
Okay.
at some point in my life, and so I had to take cash out of one and put it in another. So
And they handed you $50,000 in
I've had, like,
cash?
50K in my hands, yes. And tell
They
me
couldn't wire it?
no, it was a whole thing.
Okay.
And it had to go from, like, my small little credit union, so I just took it out in cash, and then had to go to the other bank and put it in, and that drive from one bank to the other, well,
Oh,
I'm
I
driving 50 it was about $47,000. I drove like white knuckle, like,
oh my god,
nobody
I'd be, like,
better
vomiting. What if somebody
yes,
finds out and
yes,
carjacks
yes,
me and steals all my money?
yes, yes,
Oh my god. Now,
yeah.
did you have to tell your credit union ahead of time that you were taking out that much money?
Yes,
Because I was
yes.
gonna say, because they don't keep that much cash on hand.
It was all orchestrated with the closing of our rental property. So,
Got it, okay.
yes, and
So
it was
people
not money
coordinated
I
this.
had, it was money I was borrowing. So, like,
Right.
it wasn't even mine. So, if somebody, like, smashed into me and stole the money,
You're really
I'd be
fucked.
fucked. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Wow.
there's that.
That's not
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay, but yeah, you have a sense of what $50,000 cash looks like? I do
It does
not.
not look like what you think it looks like, right.
Yeah.
Shauna's
Yeah, and
exactly right.
it sort of makes sense. I mean, you get a whole bunch of $100 bills.
Mhm, mhm.
You don't need that many.
No, no.
Actually, think about it. If you have $100 bills, oh god, this is math. You only need
Mm.
500 of them.
500. Yes, you are correct. There's 4 zeros there. One,
Yeah,
2, 3, 4. Yes.
you only need 500 bills, which is
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not that
that's
much.
a stack.
I mean, they gave me, like, a secure bank envelope to put this in, like a thicker bank envelope,
So
and
not
it
the little
fit
ones that you got through the
no,
drive-through
no,
with
no,
the
no, and it fit all of them.
Wow.
So, there you
Wow.
go. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. The
So, Shauna
reason let me just clarify. The reason that this had to happen the way it did is the money had to be transferred immediately,
got it.
and this little credit union did not wanna wire it without a whole
Depending
thing.
on what it was,
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if it happened today, it'd be much easier process than
Yeah.
when it did happen.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes.
Look at you, daddy Warbucks over there with your $47,000 in
I
cash.
was tempted to just, like, drive to the mall and spend it, but,
Go on a big old shopping
then I
spree.
would have owed 2 people $47,000.
We're just gonna go buy a car.
Mhm,
My first husband and I bought our house, on our way to, like, sign the offer and all that,
mhm.
we drove past this is the main line of Philadelphia, so Stortsey. We drive past a Maserati and a Lamborghini dealer,
Mm.
and I'm like, for the price of our house, we could just buy one of those.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I don't know if the cats would like living in there, but
Do you feel like I get real crazy about cars? Like, I'm at a point in my life where I could probably take a car loan for a nicer car. It is the principle of it. I will not pay more than $40,000 for a car. Like, I
yeah,
just will not. It's ridiculous.
it is ridiculous. The cost of cars is absolutely ludicrous.
It's ludicrous.
And to see cars wandering around that are $100,000 cars and their kids are like dropping their
No.
fries in the back seat. Like,
Mhm,
no,
mhm,
I'm
mhm.
good. I'm good. I'm
I
actually
have my little, Toyota RAV4, and
Mhm.
I'm very happy with it.
I drive a Volkswagen Jetta. Like, it
Yep,
is
there
nothing
you go.
fancy.
Yeah.
I am pondering a new car next year. My car is
Mm,
10 years old, so I'm
m'kay.
pondering a new car,
Mhm, mhm.
and it's interesting to start thinking about that just at a high level, and I
Wait till you
wanna
see the
get an
prices.
electric car. I do wanna get an electric, but I don't wanna get a Tesla. A,
Yeah.
we have one, and B, I just can't give Elon Musk more money.
Toyota makes a fantastic, not that I'm, a Toyota salesman, but I should
Yeah,
be. They make the RAV4 Prime, which is the
okay.
plug-in hybrid,
Plug-in
which
hybrid, yeah,
yeah, I know you want fully electric, but
I do.
the plug-in hybrid is great. And my hybrid is not the plug-in, but I'm getting 45 miles to the gallon, which I feel like is really good.
For a little SUV, yeah. My
Mhm,
car
mhm.
before my current car was a Prius. I had a Prius for 8
Yeah,
years, and I
yeah,
loved it. I
yeah,
loved that car. It was great.
yeah.
But anyway, so
This has been
$50,000.
this has been car talk.
This has been Amy and Amanda's version of
Amy
car talk,
Amy moving some cash with some shady shit going on.
right? Where you actually learn nothing about cars, but hopefully
Correct.
you were entertained.
Correct.
Kind of
Yes.
like the actual car talk, except they really did talk about
Yeah.
cars. I miss
Yes.
car talk. I love click
My
and clack.
husband loved car talk,
I did
and
too.
he loves to talk about cars. So,
Yeah, I loved car
mhm.
talk. I miss those guys. So anyway, they're waiting for the pickup. Ty and Shauna are chatting. Ty tells Shauna that she paid for Nat's rehab because Nat goes and does the drop of the
Mhm.
money.
Mhm.
And Shauna's like, you got to stop enabling her and all of that. And Ty
Yeah.
goes to this thing of like, we have, I have Sammy and Simone, you have Jeff and Callie, which honestly, having Callie, honestly, having both Callie and Sammy, I'm not seeing that in the plus column.
Simone is in the plus column. Jeff, not so
Not
much.
so much, and these kids are both take backable for different
Mhm.
reasons,
Mhm.
but Ty says she feels like she has to because, um, because of what Nat did, they wouldn't be here if not for that, and they have everything and Nat has nothing.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Considering the bond that Shauna and Ty have in the
Mhm,
wilderness,
mhm.
I thought it was interesting that Shauna just didn't kind of trust Ty's judgment on this.
Yeah, but
You know what I
I
mean?
don't think they talk very much. They've not talked in a long time,
That's true. That's true.
but they do come back together, and it's just like
Mhm. Mhm.
once
Mhm.
the awkwardness of not having seen each other for a while happens, the 2 of
Yeah.
them come
Yeah.
right back together.
Agree.
And so just Ty feels compelled to care for Natalie. And then Nat comes back with a bottle of booze.
Mhm.
And they're like, "Where did you get this?" She's like, "I bought it off the gas station guy." Okay, that is a thing that would never occur to me.
Oh, I feel like that's some Gen X shit right there.
Well,
That
it
is a
wouldn't occur to
learned
me.
Gen X
Yeah,
behavior.
I was just thinking it wouldn't occur to me today to go into a gas station, an overnight gas station, and be like, "Let me buy the bottle of booze that you're
Right.
drinking to stay awake."
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're not drinking to stay awake, at least in
Yeah.
my experience.
No,
So
I'm drinking and falling asleep, so I
that's
don't
right.
understand.
That's right,
Yeah.
because we are ladies of a certain
Yeah.
age.
Yep.
Yes. And okay, so Shauna, oh, see, I messed up my order. I was like, Shauna tells Jackie the fake story of Randy. Now that happens.
Mm.
We've
Mhm.
got Misty being captive with Jessica,
Yes.
and Jessica tells Misty her hair is unflattering. She's
Yeah,
like, tell me the
Misty's like,
truth.
"Tell me the truth."
Like, your hair is really unflattering. I love Jessica. She's an asshole and I love her.
Mhm. Mhm.
And um
I love how Jessica's like, "This isn't the first time I've been held captive."
captive. Exactly. And Misty's like, you're blackmailing us. And she's like, blackmail? And she's like,
No.
"How did you know about the symbol?" And she's like, "Symbol?" And that's where I think Misty's finally like, "Oh,
Ooh.
she's not
Yeah.
the blackmailer. She's something." Misty
Yeah,
knows
yeah, yeah.
Jessica knows something, but she
Yeah.
realizes in that moment that Jessica's lie about not knowing what the symbol is wasn't a lie. Like, it was very
Yeah.
clear she really
Yeah.
had no idea.
Misty's having a "no shit" kinda
Oh,
moment.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I've got this woman in my basement, and I don't know what's happening here.
Mhm.
She accuses Jessica of killing Travis, and Jessica basically tells her she's Ty's fixer. Ty hired
Mm,
her to see what she can get out of folks, and she says Travis was murdered,
mhm.
and she says to Misty, "If you knew what happened, you wouldn't have me here. You need me to help figure out the mystery. If you knew I did or didn't like, if you knew what happened,
True.
I wouldn't be here.
True. Yes, yes,
If you
true.
were sure of the story, I wouldn't be here," which
Yeah.
is true.
Good point, good point.
And she's trying to manipulate her by being nice to her. Like, I think Jessica's realizing, like, the key to get Misty to do what you want is to befriend her
Right, because she has no friends.
because she has no friends. She thinks
Mhm,
she has friends, but she has no
mhm.
friends.
Yeah.
And then we have the big chase with the blackmailer.
Okay.
Okay.
The blackmailer is not Jeff,
Say more.
right?
No, the
Physi
blackmailer is Jeff.
physically.
Oh, the guy who's running through the store is not physically
So
Jeff.
who is it?
I don't know. It's another actor who could run faster than Jeff could. I don't
No,
know.
but, like, is it supposed to be Jeff?
I think it's supposed to be
I
Jeff.
just feel like this is something is they just dropped the storyline. Look, first of all,
First of all. First of all.
these writers make very few mistakes,
This is
very few
true.
missteps. This show is exceptionally well written. This is a problem. The blackmail.
Why? We know it's Jeff because
No,
then
we
there's all
know
the
it's
glitter.
Jeff, but, like, it doesn't really serve its purpose. They kinda drop it, like, Jeff's like, "Oh, I owe these people money, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah,
Like, it's a weird we don't need it.
we
We
don't
don't
need
need
the
it.
only reason we need the blackmail is to get all of these women together again. That is the
Yes,
only thing
yes, yes, which
that this serves.
they and we talk. I believe we talked about this in the episode in season 2,
Mhm.
in one of the episodes, or maybe it was last episode, where
It's been talked about. Go ahead.
Lottie like, them investigating Lottie could have brought them all together.
True, but why would they have investigated Lottie?
Like, maybe Lottie could have sent them postcards inviting them to come
Her
to her
cult?
retreat. I don't know.
Maybe. I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
I just feel like this is so random and weird, and that's clearly not Jeff, and
But we have to have who the blackmailer is in question. Otherwise, Shauna doesn't kill Adam
oh, you're right. You're right. I
because
forgot
she
about
thinks
that.
it's Adam, and only after Adam's dead does she see the glitter in the closet
Yeah. Yeah,
after
you're
the
right.
blackmailer ran into the thing of glitter.
I
Glitter
just
fucks
feel
everybody.
I'm not saying that the blackmailing storyline didn't maybe it could have happened, but it was very loose and sloppy.
It
Like,
is
it
the
goes
only part of
away.
this
Like,
that's
we
not
don't
tight.
really know what happens with it. Did Jeff pay those mobsters off? Are
Right, are
they
we ever gonna come
taking
back
him
to this?
down? Like, what's going on?
Right, right,
And I almost said Juliette Lewis. Natalie sees the car that
yeah,
he's driving. It's not Jeff's car.
no.
So he's not alone doing this. Who's he working with? Does he ever say he's working with Randy?
He doesn't, but that wouldn't shock me. I mean, these 2 are not the brightest bulbs in the tree, and this is not the best pulled off blackmail either.
Mhm. Mhm. I just feel like it gets weird.
Yeah, it of a show that was so tightly written,
Yes,
this is the
this
messy
is
part.
a messy part. Yeah.
This
That
is
I
the
guess
messy part.
that's my issue with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. In any other show that's not as tightly written as this, it might not be as bothersome.
Like, we needed a little more, like, why were you so in debt to these people? What was
Mhm.
going on? Like,
What's happening with the store?
I find it hard to believe, like, these people were loan sharks shaking you down, you just paid them off and they went away. Like,
Right.
I don't know, I just need more. I need more
I
explanation.
I have to say though, and I don't know about you, I don't feel very comfortable with how loan sharks work. I mean, I understand the concept, but I don't really know what their practices are. So
Yeah.
maybe this is normal loan shark practice? Mobster practice? I don't know. Do
Do
you think
you
there's a
have
book
the
that tells you
loan
how to
shark
be a mobster?
handbook guide or handbook to
Is
be a
there a
loan shark?
mobster handbook?
There we go. Loan shark handbook.
That'd be amazing. That would be amazing. But we have this big chase, and
Mhm.
I loved how they're running through the store, and they're like, "Get him on the like they're going straight back into soccer mode of
Yes,
like
yes,
spread out and
yes.
girls and I
Mhm,
love
mhm.
it. I wonder if any of these girls played soccer again.
Oh, yeah, I wonder. Huh, I don't know.
I don't know. I guess maybe we'll find out. This is before actually they do the chase. They're talking in the car, and Nat insists that Travis wouldn't kill himself.
Yes.
And she says that they're all fucked up. all of them.
Mhm. They just
They
hide it better than her.
they just hide it better. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, yes, they are too. They chase the blackmailer through the
Natalie
store.
almost shoots the
Yeah.
blackmailer, and Thaisa thwarts that
Mhm.
effort, and she's like, "What?" And it's important to note that she has Kevin's gun.
Gun, and 1 round goes because that
1
comes up
round
in a
goes.
minute.
Yep.
Yeah, so they chase the blackmailer through the store. Shauna gets home. Adam is sitting outside her house.
Which
The
is kinda
balls on
hot.
this guy
Kinda hot.
is
Kinda
kinda
hot.
hot. I'm coming
Jury
over.
says hot.
Hot.
Mhm.
Yes. He's coming over to fuck her,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's what's gonna happen in her in her bed with her husband.
Yeah.
He does drop his driver's license. That becomes important later. We
Yes.
see that, and they fall
How do you
asleep.
drop your driver's license?
Well, I've done this.
Oh,
I
okay.
d I've done this, but I don't feel like a man would do this, and the reason I've done this, and I don't feel like a man would do this, is men just have everything in their wallet, in their pocket.
Mhm, mhm.
I have gone out before with just, like, a credit card and
Just in your
my
pocket,
license
free.
in my
Yes.
back pocket and pull one
Yes.
out and something goes flying and you don't realize
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
I think it's easier for women than for men.
Yes.
So they fall asleep post coitus, as they
Mhm.
say,
Which why
and
would you fall asleep?
seriously,
Another little Miss Recap pro tip.
don't do
You're
this. If
having
you're
your
gonna
side piece
bang,
over to bang in your wedding bed.
don't fall
Don't
asleep.
fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. Do coke before. Whatever you have to do to stay awake.
What you do, you fuck, you come, you get them out of the house.
Fuck, come, get out.
Fuck, come, get out.
There you go. That's a t-shirt.
Fuck, come, get out. That feels like a very different play on kill, marry, fuck. Fuck,
Yes,
come,
it
get
does.
out.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. Yes.
So, but she
And
hears
I
Jeff.
wouldn't Cody Brown with any of them. So there you
No,
go. Mhm,
no, no, no,
mhm,
no, no, no.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
So she
Maybe
hears,
get out. Maybe get out.
get out.
Yeah,
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 Cody can get out. I don't want him anywhere near me. Well,
yeah.
so she hears Jeff come in. She
Mhm,
freaks out. She tries
mhm,
to tell Adam to go out the window. She's like, no, that won't work. Throws him in the closet. Jeff
mhm,
tries to go in the closet to
mhm.
put his clothes away. No, no, it's fine. Remember.
The
He
hamper's in
goes,
the bathroom.
right.
Just throw it there.
He goes to take a shower. She
Mhm.
gets rid of Jeff.
Yep.
Now we're back at Misty's lair of good times.
Yes.
And Jessica's there, and she has a box of chocolates
Mhm,
and a syringe and a bottle of fentanyl.
mhm.
What I love about fentanyl is she's just injecting it into each chocolate. It's legal. And if you die of it, people just assume you overdosed.
Yeah,
It's a great way to kill
yeah,
people.
yeah.
And I found out where your father lives, and I understand chocolates are his favorite. Talk to his nurse.
This is maniacal.
This is maniacal. This is so good, though. This Missy is so fucking unhinged.
She's so unhinged.
She is so unhinged. This woman has 0 moral compass.
Yeah. Yep.
She has
Yep.
0 moral compass.
Agreed.
She is absolutely a sociopath.
She is like just what makes her so scary is she will do anything. She's not predictable
Nope.
and she's just completely unhinged.
Completely unhinged, and she looks sweet and nice.
Yeah.
She's little.
Yeah.
She just looks like a, kind of a
Yep.
weird single lady.
Yep.
A
Kind of a
weird single lady.
weird old maid.
A weird old maid, but she's not
Mhm.
that old because she's our age, so
Right,
not
right,
that
right,
old. But
right. But by Little House on the Prairie standards, she would be an old maid.
oh yeah,
Spinster,
abs-
spinster. Mhm.
absolutely. She would be like Eliza
Mhm.
Wilder.
Yeah,
Mhm.
spinster. Mhm.
Yep, exactly. And so she tells, she threatens Travis or threatens Jessica. Jessica says she talked to Travis. So she starts spilling things because now
Mhm.
she's getting worried about her dad.
Yeah.
She talked to Travis. She brought him a nice bottle of whiskey. So now we know how the whiskey got there
Mhm.
that he could not afford.
Mhm.
And he wouldn't talk. So she went home. And I believe that.
I believe that too.
I believe that's what happened.
I
She
mean, I
tried
don't
to get
think
him to
this
talk.
woman's like busting skulls.
No.
No.
She just wants to see if there's anything she can offer people to talk. Like, what is everyone's price?
She didn't read the loan shark handbook. She doesn't know that you need to bust some skulls when you need
No.
some answers.
No,
Mm-mm.
she is just the investigator handbook.
Yep. Yep.
And she talks about investigating Travis's death. She tells Misty about the bank account being cleaned out the day
Yeah.
after he
Which we
died.
still don't know who did that.
We still don't know who did that.
Right.
But Natalie goes back in the future episode, goes back to her AA sponsor who works at a bank, and she's trying to use this woman to
Yes.
get that.
Yeah.
And apparently they both had some sort of crime ring going because she uses that to hold over this woman's head. But
I
we'll get
think
to
it's Lottie. I think it's Lottie.
that. Okay. Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
Who knows? We'll find out.
Those, oceanside retreats don't pay for themselves.
No, but I suspect everybody at that cult has given Lottie
Mhm.
all of their money,
Yeah, I'm sure.
and I'm sure there's some rich people there. There's gotta be a Claire Bronfman of who is Lottie's Claire Bronfman? Here's the question.
I don't know who Claire Brofman is.
Oh, so Nexium. So
Oh,
Claire
oh,
Bronfman
oh,
is the
oh,
heir to the
yes.
Seagram's
Okay,
fortune.
no, 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 I got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yep, yep.
just didn't know the name.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
what
There's
what
gotta
was
be a Seagram's heir there or
what
something.
was the guy's name? The volleyball dude? What was his
Keith
name?
Raniere.
Keith
Keith
Raniere.
Raniere,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Real weird volleyball tie-in with that whole story.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
volleyball is significant.
yeah. He was, like,
He's
using volleyball to get these women into the cult. It was real weird.
Yes, he
Yeah.
he was seducing people with volleyball. With his bad
You can manipulate me a cake, you cannot
could not
manipulate me a
manipulate
volleyball.
No, with the bad sweatbands and keeping
Yes,
people up till
yes,
2 in the morning.
yes.
Something Michelle from Blighty Day pointed out, which I had never noticed, but it is true. His mouth is always gaping open.
Oh, it's always a
Every
gape?
picture of him, he's a gape, a gap. He's always like, "Eh." Like,
Oh,
why
that's
is his mouth always
weird.
open?
Yeah, why don't you have a clenched jaw like the rest of us walking around this world?
Oh, because he's a total sociopath. He doesn't care. Oh my god, he is such a
Oh,
wackadoodle.
oh.
I love Nexium, and by that I mean I just enjoy all the story of it. I
So
don't
Claire
really
Brofman's role was just pumping money into this
just
thing.
pump him. Yeah, and she
So
still
who
is.
is pumping money
It's a
into
Lottie's cult.
Lottie?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. We'll have to figure
Someone
that
there
out.
is I mean, we had that guy who had the failed horse meat business with his brother.
That's true. I don't feel like it's him. I
I
don't
don't
feel
think
like
he
it's him.
did. He probably not. I mean, if the
Yeah,
business failed, he doesn't have a lot of cash.
yeah,
Seagram's, it did not fail. Seagram's has
correct,
gone very well.
correct. Yes, Seagram's doing okay.
Yeah. Okay. The other thing we have going on in the present time is Kevin realizes that Nat stole his gun, has a big fight. He asks if she was high at the time. What was she doing? What park was she in?
And she immediately pushes him away.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm,
She's like, get out. Fuck yourself. Yeah, I was just using you for sex. But she actually
mhm.
cares about
We
him.
know that that's not true, right? We
Right.
know
She
that's not
really
true.
cares. Because now
Mhm.
she's going to have to go on a bender after this.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's sad.
Mhm.
Nat can't let anybody get close to her.
No, because she feels like she always gets hurt, which we don't
Mhm.
know where that comes from. I
Mm-mm.
mean, we do because we saw her upbringing,
Her childhood upbringing and then the trauma of the
but we
plane
see
crash.
her letting Travis in.
Mhm.
So, like,
He's the
it's
only one who
after
got in.
that. The initial wound is the parenting, but there is another wound inflicted on this woman's trust
Yeah.
somewhere. I don't know where. We'll get there maybe.
I cannot wait to find out how they get the hell out of here.
I know. I know. I know.
And what is Ooh,
Ooh,
this comes back. Ooh,
ooh,
I just
ooh,
realized
ooh.
something. So, you know how Ty said we wouldn't be here if not for Natalie.
Yes.
The end of season 2, they make Natalie the lead. This comes back to my Natalie's the Antler Queen.
Okay. Okay.
I am more and more sold that Natalie is the Antler Queen.
I forget what my theory is on the Antler Queen. It's
I think
changed so
I think you were
much.
still team
I
Lottie.
think I'm still Team Lottie. A little
Yeah,
bit.
I think
I
it's
did
Nat.
suspect Shauna at one point,
Oh, I
but
did too.
I don't know. I think
I thought Shauna
Shauna is positioned in life as a number 2.
Yep.
She's always gonna be a number 2. She's the
Yep.
number 2 you want,
Oh,
but
yeah.
she's always gonna be a number 2.
Jackie's
She's
number 2, she's
Yes,
Ty's number 2 in the
somebody's gotta be the
wilderness.
number 1 to her. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
and she's really disappointed when Lottie does not choose her. Because remember when Lottie makes the choice of Nat, Shauna gets all puffed up, Misty gets puffed up.
Yeah, yeah,
Nat
yeah, yeah, yeah.
doesn't. Nat's like, not me.
I
I don't
just
know what you're
don't
talking
see it
about."
in Nat to be like I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
I don't know, but I still think she is. I don't know what happens to her, but I
Yeah.
think she's the Antler Queen.
Okay.
Or whatever she does gets them rescued somehow, because Ty clearly feels indebted to Nat.
Yeah.
This isn't just all we all got fucked up in the wilderness. Ty feels like she owes Nat
I
something.
wonder if she leads another expedition and goes out and
Maybe.
finds help. I don't know.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. I am
Dying to know. Dying to know.
I mean, we have no cabin,
Mm-mm.
so we have
Mm-mm.
no place for them to be.
Okay, so maybe whatever decision Nat makes in the wake of the cabin being gone, is
Maybe.
what saves them eventually. Maybe it's like, let's go down and
To the
set up
tree
camp
pit.
10 miles from here, or let's do this or do that. I don't know, whatever it is.
Right. I don't know. But I'm dying to know how they're gonna recover from they're not
No
gonna have any
cabin.
more candle there's no more well-stocked cabin.
Mm-mm.
They got
Mm-mm.
nothing.
Nope. Nope.
No,
No.
it's not good. These poor girls are fucked.
Anything else happening in the current timeline, or is that it?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. This is a big episode, but it's really fast-paced.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Stuff
yeah.
happens really quickly,
Yeah.
but a lot of stuff is crammed into this one.
Yeah, so again, current time, we are left wondering, like, if we, we're watching this for the first time, we'd be left wondering who is the blackmailer.
Who's the blackmailer?
And we
What
would
does
be we would be sus about Adam showing up there.
Oh, for sure.
Mhm.
I I really thought for a bit that Adam was the blackmailer.
Right, because it's
I
important
bought it.
that she puts him in the closet because that's where her journals are.
Right.
Like
And
he's in there in those 2 minutes trying to break into a safe.
right. And she says the safe code is the flight number. So if you really are a Yellowjackets, fanatic nut job,
Mhm.
then and you're like, how can I break into a Yellowjacket safe? I mean, I would probably try the flight number.
I would think, "Wow, why would you be that dumb to use the flight number?" But okay. Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Because in theory, most people are not going to know that.
True,
And she
true.
doesn't advertise that she was a yellow jacket. She keeps that really under
Mhm.
wraps.
Mhm.
So theoretically, in her day-to-day life,
Yeah.
other than people who knew her, I mean, obviously Jackie's parents know, but in anybody that she interacts with in her day-to-day life, the only person who really knows that she was a yellow jacket are Callie and Jeff.
True. True. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
who knows?
All right, girl. That's it. That brings us to 58 minutes talking about this shit. And I
It
love
still
every
makes
minute of it. I
I
love
do
every
too.
minute of it.
I do too. It
Mhm.
still begs the question though, did Jeff know about the baby before reading the journals? I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. And did they ever have a conversation about it?
Right. I don't know.
Like, I feel like
I
they
don't
don't I feel like no one talks to each other. I don't know.
Yeah. It's strange that I'm trying to think about it because I've had enough I mean, I've never been pregnant to my knowledge or given birth,
Mhm.
but I've had enough doctor's appointments that the question is, have you
Mhm.
ever or are you planning to have a baby?
Yeah.
So, and it's possible like at their first OB appointment, Jeff could have gone like when she was pregnant with Callie. That wouldn't
Mhm.
be unheard
Mhm.
of for him to go and be like, "Oh my god, we're having a baby." If he didn't know, did she lie to her doc I mean, who knows?
She shouldn't have, especially if she gave birth to a stillborn.
Right.
A
Right,
doctor
because
should know
she's a
that.
high risk pregnancy at
Mhm.
this point.
Mhm.
Oh my
I don't
gosh, heaven
know.
forbid she would have been RH negative and RH positive.
I
We
know.
wouldn't know what
I
happened
know.
then.
I know.
That was my mother. I remember as a kid, she always had the card in her wallet.
Mhm.
If she was ever pregnant, I don't know why she would randomly, spontaneously get pregnant, but she was a single woman. I'm not sure what's happening there, but she always had the card, and she's like, "Yeah, if I ever get pregnant, I have to have a Rogam shot because I
Mm.
was." She's positive I'm negative. I don't remember what shit it is,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
that was a thing for her.
All
Yeah.
right. So thank you for your notes.
My pleasure. My
Thank you for your
pleasure.
service.
Happy to do it. I do it for the people.
We will be back for episode 8. So hopefully
Episode 8.
soon. Hopefully soon.
Yeah, we could probably bang that out in the next week or so, and
We
then we get to
might
9,
we
which is my favorite.
might have to wait until we wrap up Last Resort. We're
We
doing a
might,
lot
and
right now, guys.
there's only 3 more episodes of Last
Yes.
Resort, and we've
Yes.
already recorded 1, so there's
Yeah.
really only 2 more,
Yeah.
and we know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be the big Kalania
Commitment
Suelu
ceremony.
therapy
Oh,
session
yeah,
and
and
then the
then the
commitment
commitment
the
ceremony. Yeah.
commitment ceremony. So, there's not much more there, but yeah, we can bang that out, and we also have to do our Love Is Blind. I
Mhm.
looked this morning to see if the reunion
No, it's not
mm-mm,
coming out till 8.
it's 8. I know.
Yeah.
I was disappointed.
Guys, if you haven't already, join our Patreon or Supercast. You get ad-free episodes there.
Woo woo!
And Sister Wives going forward is only going to be on Patreon and Supercast. And you can
Yeah.
also subscribe now through Apple Podcasts.
I saw you did that. Look at you
Yeah,
figuring out the
look at
technology all over the
me. So
place.
you just go to Apple and click on the show, and it'll come up that you can subscribe, and you get those Sister Wives episodes. So we started, we were dropping a free feed preview, but we're not doing that anymore because we're just talking real in depth about shit, and
Yeah,
we
and
want
it's
you to have the whole thing. So
because
it's
even if
fair.
you pulled out some of it, it's not gonna make sense in the context of the whole
Right.
thing, and
Right.
it'll be good. But this will be out after Sister Wives drops, I would say, because this week is
No, it's
good.
not.
Oh,
I'm dropping this
dropping
today.
it today?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, then
Because
if you listen to this, be sure to listen to Sister Wives tonight or tomorrow
right.
because it's a great episode.
Right. I'm dropping this today because people on the free feed won't get Sister Wives. So I'm
That's
dropping it
true.
today. Yeah.
There you go,
And
there you
if
go.
you do subscribe through Apple Podcasts, please note that I cannot set and schedule episodes like to drop at a certain time. It
Oh,
only goes
okay.
by date.
Oh, okay.
So the Sister Wives episode will drop after midnight. Technically it'll be like 12:01 tomorrow.
So it drops on
Whereas
October 16th at some point.
yes, whereas if you are on Patreon or Supercast, you get it at 11:02. So,
Yes.
yeah. I gave myself that 1 minute grace period
That's a good idea.
just in case the episode goes a minute over. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Leave us a 5-star review if you'd like. Share the show with your friends. It really helps to grow us. And thank you, Amanda, and I'll talk to you soon.
Take care, everyone.